Grand rising, gods and goddesses, and welcome back to another What the Fuck Wednesday. It's a very special day as we are celebrating the Spin the Block Day for Nova, our very own Think High crew. What you want to say, President and CEO? Happy Earth Day, my nigga. Happy Spin a Block Day. But we're here to say what the fuck as well. So it's going to be a special day. So y'all go ahead and sit tight, tune in. We'll go ahead and tap in with DJ Crazy Man and tell him that the Messiah has returned. So go ahead and spin some fucking dope shit and we can get this what the fuck cracking whenever y'all ready. Let's warm this bitch up for my niggas Spin the Block. Welcome to my hood. There ain't nothing normal. You can take a walk in my hood. Where everything paranormal. Everything paranormal. We can start a day, we got something for you. Open up the door, you can be immortal. If you really drive around, step into the just received it. It's the Think High crew, yeah. Just received it. Yo, it's the Think High crew, what up? Yeah, it's the Think High crew, you know. It's the Think High crew, what up? It's the Think High crew, yeah. We may have had difference. We may have had difference. The suppression, the use of marijuana. The suppression. It's the Think High crew, yeah. 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 You all of my love, so you can visualize all of my pain. I scorch you with all of this fire, just to grow you with all of my rain. I'm giving you what I embody, cause what I embody is part of you too. But you must have forgot, somewhere down your whole road line, the program took over your truth. And this is why I came, to leave my legacy in flames. So pick up a torch, carry me forth, and let my light create the way. It's been too long playing slave. If I free this down, can we behave? Other than that of a creature that's trained. You wanna tame God, then capture his brain. Listen, a bird born to the cage thinks flying is ill. Yet, they don't wanna catch this cold. So, now they're alone, cause the coop was flown. When that roof got blown, I shed the skin till the truth gets shown. Till that 10th gate open and we see that throne in the room where the gods are grown. Open your universe, immerse through this inverse, and see the path that we stumble on. It's made of self-hate. But if we valued each other over our different ways, instead of killing the strangers with hopes of better days, we would live forever instead of living for the grave. So show me your word, what you bring in earth. Do you ever show love for the things that you hate? Do you ever show patience for the things that can wait? Man, show me your word, yeah, show me your word, what you bring in earth. Do you ever give something that you can't get back? And you ever see the truth being live on the fact? Man, show me your word, yeah, what you bring in earth. Will it save and protect, or will it get paid and neglect the rest? Or do you preserve and respect what's left? Man, show me your worth, yeah, show me your worth.
What's up, Mr. B Great? Of course we got time.
Yeah, fuck the Messiah. Fuck the Messiah. Cause me, I know the Most High, and I know where that infinite dwell. So why would I go outside of myself and lie to myself? Fire and light, all up inside of myself, yes, I am God. They wanna separate everything great. Tell me to wait on a savior in space. Meanwhile, our people are dying and they just replying, it's coming, just wait. The fuck do you think? I mean, really just think. Languages play VOS to the brain, so everything spoken is framed by shape. You can give knowledge to a man, but you can't make him think. I am just bridging the bird and the snake. Further my verses get under the surface, the more I reveal what is under my face. I am indeed multi-dimensional, human supreme. More you connect with the words that I speak, just know I reside in the spaces between. So fuck your Messiah, fuck your Messiah. Cause me, I know the Most High, and I know where that infinite dwell. So why would I go outside of myself and lie to myself? Fire and light, all up inside of myself, yes, I am God.
That's right. Why would I go outside of myself? Fire and light. Bitch, I am God. I am the Messiah.
Well,
we ain't worried about it.
Happy spin the block, say Messiah.
If you're not on that tip and you don't feel like that, that's fine. You know what I mean? You don't have to feel like that.
Happy rotation around the Sunday, nigga.
You don't have to feel like you're God, but I do. Not your God though. See, I don't feel like I'm anybody else's God. I just feel like I'm my own God.
I think we all God.
So,
I mean, together. I mean, basically.
Take it for what it's worth.
I mean, shit. If we all really wanted to end world hunger, you telling me ain't enough food that we could just be like, all right, it's over with. We could literally do that.
One person could do that.
Well,
what are you talking about?
They're doing that in New York right now.
Oh boy.
Oh my God.
They're making sure people don't go hungry. I was looking at the statistics on that shit, and it's like $7. $7.60 per day for SNAP is what people get, and then these debit cards are giving out. It's like $13 per day.
The government in New York has blatantly said, "Fuck you."
Yep.
I feel like that's a war, bro. Come on, bro. That's like if you've been working at a job for 20 years, my nigga. And
then some motherfucker comes in there that ain't even qualified.
New guy comes in there and he's like, and the first thing he tells you, though,
he's walking there with his pants sagging and shit.
The new guy comes in and you're like, look at the new, you make friends with the new guy and everything, right? You're like, that's cool, you know what I'm saying? And then the president of the company comes in and he says, yeah, let me introduce our new guy. He's gonna make double what the fuck you make, and there's nothing you can do about it. So either get mad, quit. We don't give a fuck. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Move
and
out.
then think about this. Think about this. So then you got different types of employees. So you got a type of employee that's getting assistance from the company. And then you got another type of employee that shows up on time every fucking day, busts their ass, and don't get no assistance from the company.
Zero, bro. Zero. Right?
Wow.
You, it's crazy. I don't get much assistance at all. I mean, I've never been on like assistance or anything like that. Like I've never done those programs. It's not that like I was too good for them. Like I would have loved to have qualified for them, but I never qualified for them. And then any time that I did, I was like, well, why can't it wanted to keep me on it. So like every time, even I tried to do it, they're like, oh, you make too much. You only get this much of money. And it's like, well, what's the fucking point even doing it then? You know what I mean? And they're like, well, it can help you do it, but then once you're on it, you can never get off. You know what I mean? Because as soon as you do get off, as soon as you do get enough money to have a card, and we're going to take your food stamps away. So it's like, well, fuck, the only reason why I got enough money for a car is because y'all niggas paying for my food. So then now you ain't going to have, you know what I mean? So it's just a cycle that they've been putting people in, you know what I mean, forever. But to give an immigrant double that, when they haven't done anything, they don't, you know what I mean? Then that shit's wild. And then that's including like the veterans and shit too, right? Like what they do for the veterans and shit.
Yeah.
If
I was like I ain't even gonna say that, but if I was a veteran,
bruh,
y'all motherfuckers better watch out. That's all I got to say. I'm gonna be mad at everybody.
I think that's what they want to do. Look,
bro.
I think they're like this. Either they're triggering you to hate immigrants, or they're trying to trigger you to hate government. Like there's one or the other. Like because that's the only two things that you have to aim your gun at. You know what I mean? You're either gonna aim your gun at the immigrants, or you gonna aim your gun at the government?
Right. Illegal immigrants.
Yeah, illegal immigrants. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
Make your choice. You know what I'm saying? That's
yeah.
how I think the narrative's going right now. So
Well, Eric Adams has got some sexual assault charges on him, so he's gone anyway. Fuck him. He's out of there anyway. He's gonna be sitting with Diddy soon, bitch. And think about it. He was a cop, right? But he was a fucking subway. He was a transit cop. He was a subway cop. He wasn't even a real cop. Fuck boy.
Right.
Fuck boy. Can't even be a real cop. Fuck boy.
Oh,
son.
God.
Yeah, son.
Yeah,
Son.
son.
Yeah, so shit, man.
New York wild, bro. I mean, I feel you.
yeah.
I'd have turned some shit
Zoo
upside
York.
down too, though, bro.
Zoo
Zoo
York.
York, yeah. What you
But
gonna
yeah,
do, man?
let's get into the numbers and astrology. Hey, Mr. B Great, you want to go ahead and give us that update now, or you got time to stick around for a little bit?
Why would I take the broom?
Well, I can't really say it too long, so if you don't mind, I'll just tell it real quick. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Let us know what's going on.
Yeah. She's back home safely. Thank
Hey,
God.
that's what's up.
And
And what happened is I had to tell her again. So what happened is she came back, okay, and then she left again without saying anything again. And the reason she left again was because I was down her throat this time. I was really on top of it. That's what I was trying to tell her. I was saying that we love her and everything, but certain rules are not going to change.
Mm-hmm.
And then I gave her two choices. I said, you can go ahead and wash these dishes, because you can do some community services, also known as extra chores, or you can go back there in the streets. You got those two options. And she said she didn't know what to do. So I gave her some time. I gave her 4 minutes. I'm generous.
Yeah, I don't know what to do, huh? Oh,
yeah. And then the other thing that got me upset, because she said, I asked her the truth. I said, why are you even here? I said, tell the truth. Are you here because you had nowhere else to go? She said, yeah. I said, okay. So she had that humble pie yet. It was a cider, but she didn't take a bite yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, fine then. I'm gonna tell you now. While you thinking, go ahead, wash them dishes. While you thinking. So she grabbed her stuff again. She tried to take her stuff. I'm like, where you taking? I said, what you doing? She said, I'm just gonna leave. And she wasn't gonna say anything. So I said, no, I don't think so. I said, you're not gonna leave you're gonna go without nothing. And she start yelling at me, fussing at me. And I was getting to the point I was going to take her phone away. And because my idea was, I'm not going to make this easy for you. Because the world's rough, you know what I'm saying? So as far as I'm saying, I'm taking that phone away. But Miss B, she came talking to me. She said, no, let her have her phone at least so she can contact, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, fine then. And then she said, like, well, can I at least have my blanket and pillow? I'm like, fine, you can do that. So she left. And she went to her friend's house for a little while, and she was all upset. And go ahead.
Go take the dogs outside.
1 second. Hold on.
Okay, go take the dogs outside. You can keep playing. Go on.
That's what I did with my daughter, bro. When my daughter decided to leave, she thought she was taking all that nice furniture and all that the mattresses and all that shit. No, sir.
All right, I'm back. Thank you.
Can't do that.
So anyway, she left with a blanket and a daggone pillow. With a pillow. And she had nowhere to go. So she went to a so-called friend house, and she was smoking weed, right? And that's one thing I told her. I said, don't bring anything in the house. Don't smoke at all, but definitely don't have nothing in the house. So she kept on doing it. I said, fine then. That's why she left. So she went to her friend's house, and the friend was smoking weed, which are both underage. And then she said she left the friend's house because the friend was acting all strange and weird. I was like, oh, go figure. Right? So she left again and went to her church, and then ended up at the police station. She didn't get arrested. And then she came back here at 6 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, why are you here? I'm glad you're here, but why are you here? What do you want? Like, where you over here? You left. You grown, whatever kind of thing. And she was like, well, I just feel like you doing this. And I'm like, you still haven't learned anything yet, have you? And that's when I said, hey, wash your dishes or you can leave. So she left again, and she went to our church that we attend, and the ladies were talking to her. Long story short, my dad called her, which my dad doesn't really talk to her much, but he called her and he actually talked to her, and he was able to talk some sense into her. So I went to the church and everything, and I told the church, two people that were talking to her, I told them everything pretty much. I'm like, she's welcome to come back, but she's not gonna bring no devices, no weed, no drugs in the house. And I looked at them, I said, you think that's fair? And they said, yeah, it's fair. And I'm like, we love you and everything, but rules are rules. And I think I told her, you're just running from the consequence. Like, I know you want to be home, but you don't want to deal with a consequence.
Right.
It's going to happen. I said, it's not. And this is what they said. They said, whatever consequence we're going to give her, it's not going to be as bad as the world's. And that's my message today. We as parents, we're not going, well, good parents, you know what I'm saying, who care for them, are not going to destroy our parents. I mean, we're not going to destroy our kids as bad as the world. I mean, sometimes we say stuff, mean stuff or stuff we shouldn't say, or maybe we can say it differently. But at the end of the day, we have our child's best interest, and we should have the ability to say, you know what, maybe I was too hard on them, but I can, go back a little bit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think sometimes we're too hard on ourselves.
I mean, shit.
But this is my opinion, though.
And none of the world is the world is not forgiving, bro. Like, it doesn't work like that for for people. How should I put it? It's more of a balance type of thing, man. We wish that it could be the way that society says it is. Obviously, in a perfect world, everything will work out, but no, none of this shit is as forgiving as we think it is. And really, you know what I mean? Like, I take the sane approach to shit when it comes to that, man. Like, I must train them as soon as they can fucking walk, because if they don't understand what the hell they're diving into with this so-called world, you know what I mean, and this society, then it's just gonna take your kid, chew them up and spit them out, and they ain't gonna look like you, sound like you, or have taken in anything that you've implanted or given them, even if it was just to break all the boundaries and let them know how powerful they truly are. So, I mean, that's just the way the shit's built. You know what I mean? Like, what it say even in the Bible, man. Children will be turned against their parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's really supposed to, I guess you could say, kind of happen this way, because that's how it's fucking been. I guess you want to say projected into this reality as. So, I mean, like, I think tough love is gonna be tough love. My kid knows what it is and how it is, and if she wants to fuck around and find out, then that's gonna be on her. Because my kids break shit. You know what I mean? I never was the type of dad when you broke some expensive shit, nigga, I ain't buying you another one. You know what I'm saying? Shit like that. Like, I'm not. If I've told you, and that's just understanding life. If you fuck something up in life, there's consequences that you're gonna have to face, good and bad. So yeah, it might be fun to be out, be grown and smoke weed and do whatever the fuck you want to do. But you ain't gonna be able to buy no weed because you ain't gonna have no job, and you ain't, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's always gonna be something. But we as parents, I think we should do a job at guiding, you know what I mean, and not dictating, because we once was at that age before too, and we know what it's like to have somebody kind of dictate every single thing about your life and put you in a cage almost. But we have to let our kids know as well, with that level of freedom that they want, you know what I mean, comes consequences with. There's shit that you have to be responsible for. It's, you know what I mean? And it's about doing the shit that you don't want to do every fucking day consistently. Everybody, that's what really being an adult is about. And then you find out all your favorite people in the world ain't nothing but fucked up pedophiles.
Yeah, and there's a limit of how much that kid's gonna be able to say to me, at least. You know what I mean? It's like, look, it's like, you don't even know what you're talking about, for one.
Yeah.
If you do know what you're talking about, why do you need me?
Mm-hmm.
If you know all these answers, why are you coming back to my house? Why do you need me to pick you up or take you here? Or why do you need me to buy you this or that? Because you know what? When I finally got it, I didn't ever ask my parents for a fucking thing. Ever since I've been 17 years old, I've never got anything from them. So
I was helping my mom pay bills when I was fucking a fucking sophomore.
And I'm not saying that my daughter should be like that. You know what I mean? I'm not expecting any kid to be able to take care of themselves at 17 years old or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's like, If you
Right.
think you know more than me and you got it down better than I do, well, then there you go. And now I don't have to worry about it.
Right. Absolutely.
You know what I
And I tell
mean?
my
But
daughter that too.
obviously,
Yeah.
you don't, because
Right.
there's a reason why you're trying to, like my
Right.
daughter, man. Like, I haven't
I be
really
keeping it
talked. I've
real.
talked to her, but I
Yeah.
haven't really had a real good conversation with her in like 3 years.
Yeah.
And one of the last conversations I had with her is because I bought her a fucking $1,000 plane ticket to fly down here one way, and then she'd be able to spend some time down here and fly home one way. And because I ain't want her to have to go through airport bullshit, possibly
Right.
get kidnapped, all that shit. So I paid more money for her to be able to fly one way and one way back. And she was on some bullshit back where she lives with her mom. And so I just said, you know what? You can't come down here like that. And she was like, what do you mean? I mean, this is spring break for me. I said, yeah, but you can't come to my house acting like that. I said, if that's how you're acting up there, I said, you're going to come down here and do that stupid shit with your friends down here. And I said, I'm just not even doing it. So I got $1,000, well, she has a $1,000 worth of a plane ticket at Delta that they'll hold in her name forever. But
Right.
she don't even know that. You know what I mean?
Right.
But yeah, so it's like, I'm not, you know what, like, fuck that $1,000. I'd rather waste $1,000 and you come down here and fuck my life up for a week,
Bro,
because you
let's
got no
think about
respect
it.
for nobody.
Just before I dive into these numbers real quick, let's think about it. What they used to do back in the day, like there's some cultures like back in the day that when you got a certain age, they literally fed you a bunch of ayahuasca and shrooms and sent you out into the desert and said, if you come back, you come back. If you don't, you don't. You come back, you're an adult. You're
Treat
a
them
man.
like Mowgli.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Shit.
You know what I mean? Like we're look how soft our society is compared to back then. Like we used to do crazy shit like that, like humans did. You know what I mean? Like,
Bro, think
hey,
about this. Think about a kid that's like 5 years old right now. Their parents telling him, go out there and get a switch and bring it back to you. Kid wouldn't know what the fuck a switch even is, or what that a spanking even is. But that's how I came up. That's how my parents
oh
came up.
shit, yeah,
And
my
it just
mom did.
seems like
Yeah.
each generation, like you just said, gets softer
Mhm,
and softer, and to the point to where they just need someone. And
Yeah.
guess who that someone is? The federal government.
And you know what's so crazy is that even my kids is soft. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we fucked around and we wanted to give our kids everything our parents never gave us, which is kind of a mistake as well. That kind of
Yeah.
mindset. So we spoiled the fuck out of them, really. And then now, I mean, plus everything has become instantaneous with society and these kids, so they need instant gratification, instant this, instant that, instant. You know what I mean? Like they have no
Yep.
concept of actually putting in the work, a little bit of work every single day. Like all of my kids pick up a new hobby and think they're going to be good at it automatically, and then get utterly upset with themselves when they're not. And I'm like, bro, what the fuck do you think you're supposed to happen, bro? You think you're just supposed to pick this shit up and be a fucking beast? Like,
No,
I
you know
mean,
what my funniest thing is, I think, on that instant gratification thing, is my daughter texting me from Atlanta saying, hey, and okay, wait a minute. Now this is like 1:00 in the morning, texting me saying, hey, can you pay for my Uber? I said, do what? She was like, I need to Uber to my friend's house. I said, I'm not paying for you to go nowhere at fucking 1:00 in the morning. Well, I just need to get over there. I said, nah. I said, you need to get over there and do some shit that you ain't got with you over there. I said, for one, no, I'm not paying for your Uber. Two, I don't trust whoever that Uber is for you to get in the car at 1 a.m. or whatever fucking a.m. it is. And I said, and three, I said, I'm not paying for the shit anyway.
Right.
I think I am just like some money tree, man. Get on with that.
Guess what? No, it's funny. Your daughter's older than mine, but my daughter asked me to pay for a ride somewhere one time. She was like, "Well, can you Uber me then? Since you don't want to take me or whatever." And I was like, "Wait." I was like, "Marley." I'm like, "I have no idea what the fuck you trying to do or where you going." I'm like, "Do you know?" I'm like, "Do you know I used to be on the phone with chicks and listen to them lie to their parents? Like, yeah, I'm going over Stacy's house." And they're like, okay. And I'm like, all right, yeah, meet you around the block. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they don't know that they daughter's about to go see me and shit like that. And I'm like, but you want me to pay for you to go somewhere to possibly lose your virginity, nigga? You got life fucked up.
Right?
Oh, you
Exactly.
want me to drop you off at a party where you go, no, I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Like, you're going to have to break all the rules of the house to go do that shit, nigga.
Yeah. Or ask or text me and say, "Hey, can you
Uh,
pay for my DoorDash?" I'm like
no,
I'm like I'm like
good.
Shyla, we're 6 hours away from each other.
Right.
You chose to move out of my house to go live in someone
Where
else's
there was
house,
some free food, right?
and you're almost an adult now. Like, get the fuck out of here. No. You're crazy. I'm not doing it. I don't play like that. You know what I mean?
Hey,
Like, I just don't get down like
they
that.
treat us like we the New York government, and they the illegal immigrants. Like, we need
Right.
more. Like,
Yeah, man.
do I look like New York to you?
Exactly.
I feel it, my nigga. Hey, my daughter gets mad at me all the time about that. I'll be like, look, well, not anymore. She kind of takes a lot of accountability because I've been like that since day one. You know what I mean? I've been how you've been since day one. I let the consequences come as they fall. I don't. As a parent, we tend to cushion that. You know what I mean? We want to cushion that fall. We see our kid falling down, and instead of letting them fall down and bust their shit, we be like, oh no, let me catch my baby. And then that just makes them soft in the end. You know what I mean? So we got to learn not to do that. But I see why that's effective way to start today, because the energy is on number 2. Yesterday was a 1. Wednesday, Settings What the Fuck Wednesday, March the 27th, is the return of the Messiah for Think High Cruise Messiah. Nova. So everybody, you know what I'm saying? Y'all go ahead and send them happy birthday wishes and all of that good shit. Well, I call it spin the block wishes. But today is a dose. It's 3/27/2024. That added together equals 2054, and then 2054 added together equals 11, and 11 equals 2. But we knew today was going to be a 2 because yesterday was a uno. So cooperation is going to be a big part of today. Diplomatic relationships, teamwork is going to be effective. We're going to be caring about each other. You know, it's going to be more of a relationship type of vibe. That's why it's like, it was dope. Motherfuckers talk about their kids, and, conversations start. The warm up started in that area, in that energy of the 2, because the value of friendships will be more noticeable on a day like this. Yesterday's Global Day 1 has, kind of, you want to say, made it whap, got it wet for us to slide into today's more eased energy. You should find 2 a bit, I guess, simpler to handle than the intensity of 1. It's a little bit more gentle, has a little bit more diplomacy, a little bit more grace. How you want to put it? What is that? What's that word again? Brusque? What's that brusque?
Yeah, brusque. Yeah.
Brusque energy of 1. You know what I mean? So it's gonna change that brusque energy of 1. So, but you don't want to, be too fooled. There's a strength and integrity in that dos, in the 2. 2 become
Brusque
1.
is like boxed wine for me, just so you know.
I feel you. I don't even know what it would mean for me. Like I think it would probably mean on the lines of bougie. Like, these niggas acting brusque today. You know what I'm saying? That's what how it makes me feel, per se. But 2, it seeks that peace. It's about balance and harmony, the dose, the yin and the yang. And for most people, it wants people to get along. It's creative. It finds a balance between synchronicity and creative endeavors, I guess. So I guess interactions with others will seem compatible. It'll seem like, everybody's, you feel a little bit more well, I guess everybody would see themselves in each other today more, I guess you would say. But in order to, get the most out of the day, obviously you want to check on your own personal day, your own, numerology, astrology, where you came into this reality. This doesn't mean, though, that you want to take advantage of others, because depending on your cycle number, that you might want to try to, I guess you want to say, be the one to have the bigger path in that balance, that yin and yang balance. But just seek the best, I guess you want to say, the best mutual outcome for today. Cultivate a little bit of patience and understanding, because everybody has a rough time and nobody's the same, and we've all been there. So today energy is a 2. So just try to, I guess you want to say, be on a more human side and understanding side. for the vibration should push you that way. But like I said, depending on your personal number, it's going to depend on how you take that energy. And with that being said, the north or the yin and the yang, of course, we want to deep dive into that a little bit more. So tell us, how does that correlate? How does that make you feel, Megawatt? Does that correlate with your stars and maybe your cards?
Well, I don't know. We're about to find out.
Hey.
So I'm gonna do the cards first.
All right.
All right. So I have 2 cards. Excuse me, I'm losing my voice. So I have the Will. The Will is about change.
Gotta stay out them damn clubs at night now.
Fated choices, destiny, can be lucky breaks, or a cycle change. It's talking about the magic of creation and using that energy to move forward, and definitely like turning points and things. So you kind of want to look at where those statements fit into your life, and make focused efforts on those things. It's definitely positive and usually has more than one meaning. So I would encourage you to think outside the box if you're not seeing it from your first glance. And then I also have the King of Pentacles. So kings are the fastest moving energy in the deck, and they're talking about abundance, patience, determination, and leadership. So if that's not you that's showing up in the card, it's someone else. And it would behoove you to figure out who that is for you, because you want to work on your personal growth, on your goals, and reaching success, because now is a good time to do that. If you don't feel that that fits for you, then I would encourage you to pull cards for yourself and see if you get something different or some other messages. There's a lot of places that you can do that online, or if you don't have your own decks. But those are the cards that I have for you today. Overall, it's a positive energy from the cards. I would say that it is a little different than the overall chart, though, and not in a bad way, just different. Because basically what we have is a lot of the big heavy hitting planets, they're still hanging out in Pisces, which is a water sign. And now the moon has moved into a water sign. And so the aspects that are being formed in the astrology of today and tomorrow, it's all about the water. So I would call it murky movement is how it looks to me. So you want to make movement, and you need to, but you're just not sure where to go or what to do, because all of this stuff is hidden to you and you can't quite see, what you're looking at. And if I were to explain it for you in a very literal way, it would be like going into a river or a body of water and diving to look for something. You're only going to have just as much viewpoint as what's right in front of you, or as much as that headlamp can shine. So you don't have a full view of everything right now. And so if you don't know what you're doing, it's a good idea to ask for help, or just pause for a minute and see if you can get better clarity. Yeah. I mean, we are in Aries season, and I don't want to take away from that, because it definitely has its own season. It's part of the equinox, the 4 points of the equinox. But it's kind of like you get those 2 weeks of spring, all the plants start blooming, the trees start, budding and everything, and then you get that freak snowstorm, and it just like covers everything. You don't really see it, but it's
you
there.
Must have lived in Ohio before talking like.
Unfortunately, I have not lived in Ohio, but I do know a lot about it. So, and then we have some we have some really interesting, things that are going to be happening in the next few days. So we have the lunar eclipse that happened, a couple of days ago, and we're heading into the solar eclipse on April 8th. And so this is going to be just a really unusual time. You're just going to see a lot of things that just don't make sense to you, because they can't make sense. There aren't enough blocks to build anything, and the blocks you do have don't seem to fit together. So it's kind of like you're just going to want to wait to see what can happen or what more things can be given to you. The true essence of what I think we'll be seeing once the two complete will be from the 20th of April to about the 24th. And there is some instability in there. So I would say, if you have things to try to take care of, go ahead and, do what you can as you go. Don't let it pile up and don't let it wait for that, future time. So, did you guys have any questions?
Oh, no questions. That was it. Then yeah, for sure. No.
I was gonna ask, how often is it that when there's a solar eclipse, there's a lunar eclipse a few days before?
That's pretty common. That
Okay.
usually happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you think
So it's
about
about
it,
every 18 months.
So if you think about it, it would make sense, right? That should happen like that because based off of the heliocentric model of how we're flying through space, supposedly, right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, based on the orbits, of Earth and the moon around Earth, um, solar and lunar eclipse that should happen, close to each other. Well, no, Susan, I don't know about the spontaneous combustion in Ohio yesterday under I-48, but I will do some quick schmoogling for you. And yes, he asked, any idea why Oklahoma has activated the National Guard for April 8th ahead of the eclipse? That's a great question.
I can give a brief answer. So,
Yeah, go ahead.
if you're looking at the second part of the X that's going to be coming through to close up this eclipse from the 2017 eclipse, it does run, partly through that country. So it's in the line of the fire there, and people who want to see it and have full access to it will be driving to those areas. So my first answer would be there's going to be a lot more people and activity in areas that may be very remote, possibly, and so they're trying to plan ahead. But also,
Just like
eclipses.
Woodstock, people died on the way to Woodstock.
And
Died sitting there waiting to get in that damn pasture.
They run out of gas, they don't have food, different things. But also eclipses bring very strong energies, and so just think about it. If you're using electricity for something and whatever you're using is on and functioning, it's like somebody walking by and just yanking the plug out of the wall, for those minutes that it's out. It can be very very combustible is how I would put it. I would not use words like dangerous and things like that. But what I can say is the effects of it can make like ripples in a pond, and there can be things that happen that transpire after the fact that could fall into that category. This particular one has the markings of having the earth being unstable. So I don't want to like freak people out, but I would say if you don't have preparedness plans, it's a good time to look at those with your family and see what you can add to your box, if you will, and make sure you have what you need. So
basically, you better get you a flashlight.
And some cereal bars.
Because I'm just saying, because probably all that's going to happen is it's going to get completely dark for a little bit, and then
on that day,
the eclipse is going to be over.
Yeah, on that day, I would definitely agree. It's more
get
likely
your flashlight, you'd be good. Shit.
Yeah,
but hey, it's never a bad idea to be prepared. For sure.
Yeah, I've looked at I've seen the traffic cam footage. I'm not sure what it was. It was a tractor trailer that was parked on the side of the road on yesterday, about 10:30 a.m.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Today?
Sorry, not Wednesday.
Yesterday, today at 10:30 a.m.?
No. Excuse me.
Are we in the eclipse right now?
No. I clicked the wrong one. There was one literally like in February as well. But they don't know. You're right. They don't even know why it caught on fire. Like you said, I guess it's some kind of spontaneous combustion. I'm not sure what was in the tractor trailer, but it was already on the side of the road when it caught on fire, I guess. But it was just weird. It caused the backup in traffic. That's all they're saying. They don't have any definition or excuse me, more information other than that, Susan. But I'll keep digging to see what was up. But I'm sure it was some crazy shit. Obviously, it always is.
Yeah, I think it's crazy that 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 ship hit that bridge. Obviously, that's
Oh
crazy.
fuck!
But
Right, that's
then
crazy as hell.
all the plans just, maybe it's just government working really good and efficiently. But it's like, damn, so y'all just jumped to it on this one, huh? But when the shit happens everywhere the fuck else, y'all motherfuckers don't never get to it. But all of a sudden, you jump to it on this one. People
All
in
of a
Flint,
sudden.
Michigan still ain't got no good water.
God damn, right?
You know what I mean? Like,
Nah, that's real shit, bro. No lie.
I mean, it's the federal government too. Now I
Right.
understand that that's a really strategically important port, but is it more strategic than somebody's drinking water?
Yeah.
And then think about this too. Okay, federal government does that, but when a hurricane hits Florida, federal government don't want to help Florida, and Florida goes and builds their own bridges and shit. So I guess it's just whoever's dick you suck.
Yeah, and I did
You know
see
what I mean?
that video, Susan, as well. Susan asked, "Did we see that like little small explosions?" I've seen a slowed down video that looks like there was explosions going
I don't
off.
think that's explosions, honestly,
I mean,
because I go over a bridge like that a lot, and I think it's actually the wires snapping, and there could be electrical wires up there too.
That's also a
Transformers,
possibility.
anything.
Yes. Right.
But that's just my take. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I said it looks like it. The video that they showed, it definitely looks like it. You know what I mean? But it doesn't. I don't know, what the evidence might be, because if those wires like that are thick like that, they do snap, and if they snap, like, you know what I mean, how they supposedly snapped, it could cause that kind of
Well,
effect,
there
I
could
guess
just
you would
be
say.
just electrical wires up there in general for like lights and shit on the bridge. And when people work on the bridge, they got to get electricity, so they got electricity running to it. Supposedly, the only people that were on the bridge were people working on potholes. But I heard there was all kind of people that fell in the damn water.
That's what the mayor said. The mayor, young black dude,
That
right?
guy, he was young, very
Yeah, he's
young.
young as hell. He's like,
My God.
they was asking him questions about rebuilding the bridge, and he's like, "Yo, we got like 40 or more people in the water we still can't find." Like he like, I don't want to talk about rebuilding some fucking bridge until we can find everybody who's buried under this bullshit.
Now they say that the police department were called, by the Port City Police or whatever, and told that the ship was out of control, basically, because I don't know exactly what happened. I think there was a fire on the ship. But so supposedly the police stopped people from coming over the bridge.
Bro,
So I mean,
they have a time lapse video, bro. How a lot of this shit seems crazy, right? Because it's like there's a time lapse video that shows, like, you know how, bro. Hey, you know how when you was with the homies, right, and y'all niggas was trying to either scare a nigga or run up on a nigga real quick, make him get up out the area type shit, and you hit the block with the whip and you hit the lights. And everybody just dip because they think a drive-by about to happen. Nigga, why the fucking ship do that? You see what I'm saying? Like they have a time-lapse video of the ship, and you see it when it turned and angled itself with the pillar. It cut all the lights went out on it.
It said it had a power loss. I don't know, but like for me, and I am not a naval captain, and I don't have any certification in any of this. But I do know from living on waterfront cities, port cities, that there are protocols that are being used for putting those boats out to sea. And they have a tugboat with them, and they have another boat that's like doing this and doing that. There's several different pieces to just having a boat go out to sea or come into from sea. And it did not appear to have any of those with it.
Right, and at the same time, it's like there was like weird symbols on it. Like they had one of somebody literally took a picture of like a cross emblem or some shit on it. You know what I mean? Like a I can't remember what the fuck like a Knights Templar type of fucking cross and shield like symbol was on the fucking boat. You know what I mean? Like there's. But and then like you hear reports about this lady was talking about like what's the reporter's name? She's in her own. She's a private investigator of some sort. What's her fucking name?
Susan
Laura.
Steele.
Nah, Susan B. That's our private investigator.
Hey,
Her
no,
name is
Susan
like
Steele was a-
Laura. Fucking
Laura Logan, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, Laura
Okay.
Logan. Laura Logan. I seen her talking about it, and she's saying
Mhm.
that she has, Laura Logan. Yep, that's right, Susan. She has contacts, in the military that's telling her that this was, planned. Like this
You talking
was.
about the trans?
I don't think she's a
No, that's
trans.
Laura Loomer.
Oh, okay.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, she's not a trans. She definitely looked like a woman. She didn't have no Adam's apple or anything.
I think there's a lot of things at play. Like, okay, so just because I live on the water, I know a little bit about some stuff, and I've seen a few cargo ships actually tip over down here.
Right.
So, but for one, so if that, all right, so where those two support beams are, the ship ain't supposed to be on the other side of that bitch.
Mm-mm.
Right.
Because the water it's dredged out deep enough to make a channel deep enough for that ship to be able to travel through there. And so when you get, but I don't know that they've dredged. They might not have dredged. It might be a little too shallow over there, because what it looked like to me was it looked like the front of the ship ran aground, or it hit the sand, the bottom or whatever, right? And so it made it swing around like that.
I think that's because that's when they threw the anchor, so that's why you see the ship move like that. They threw an anchor.
Right, but
it's just weird though.
But
like how
yeah, I mean that could be right too. That could be right, but
man, y'all gotta. That's what I'm saying, bro.
Anchors, though, they ain't gonna. I don't think they're gonna make it just. Maybe they will. Maybe they're.
No, it would. It can make you turn.
If you have any kind
sharper.
If you have any kind of problem with your ship, loss of power, loss of steering, anything, you're supposed to throw an anchor immediately to stop the ship from moving.
You would think that would be like already installed in the ship's protocol, kind of like an airbag. Like as soon as you lose power, an anchor is automatically dropped because you want the ship to stop. Wherever it's at. But at the same time, like I said, man, y'all gotta, when you watch that shit, man, like just watch it carefully, man. You see the shit turn all the way around, point itself directly at the beam, and then the lights get cut. I don't like a drive-by. I'm trying to tell y'all, like that's what it reminded me of, bro. Like somebody intentionally was like, all right, hit the power, boom. You know what I'm saying? We align with the target. Hit the power, let her coast right into the motherfucking shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't look like, oh, we were having power problems. Oh my God, we lost control over the ship.
Well, there was some smoke that came out.
Yeah,
and
there was a fire on the ship.
That's what they're saying was the cause of that. So,
and that smoke was that real black smoke. So it was actually.
But I didn't see that fire. So the fire was before or after? It was a fire on the ship during.
So it was like the smoke came out, the power went out, and then it turned and hit the thing. Like in that
that's not what it looked like, bro. I'm just being honest with you. You got to watch the time lapse video. I sent it to a couple of people. I'll send it to you too. I'll try to find it again.
I've seen the time lapse video. There's definitely black smoke coming out of the.
It's hard to see though because it's night.
Yes, but at the same time, what I'm saying is just like
I don't think you would see the smoke on the time lapse video though, because
no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't. No, absolutely, you're right. But
it's just like right when you notice that the lights go out, it kind of makes you look even more, and then you see black smoke coming out the back of it, and then you see the black smoke travel all the way over there to the little
It's just crazy that, you know what I mean. It looked,
and that's what happened to the ship here. That's why I can kind of like put myself.
But it looked like it was moving
there.
like it was moving. Its path was moving away from the bridge, and it looked like it almost did, with like a 40-degree fucking turn to be able to face.
But it also doesn't make sense though, because if you're gonna pass under a bridge and you've got embankments on either side, wouldn't you go directly towards the middle so that if anything ever happened, you wouldn't be hitting the side?
Man,
you know what I mean?
I feel you. I mean, I don't understand it completely either.
Like I'm not like a mathematician in any way, but I would think directly in the middle of those two pillars would be the smartest move.
But think about this: you only see it from that point. Now, what about 5 seconds before that? Was there black smoke still coming out? Did the power go out 4 or 5 times before?
Right, that's what I'm.
That's what I think. I think something happened when it was riding how it should have been in the middle of the motherfucker, right?
But I
And
like to look
then
at the big picture though too. Like, do you think that this was that's my question though. So do you think that this was more than just, you know what I
Well,
mean,
I
an
mean, if you
accident?
research the city, the port, the area, what it's used for, and what everything relies upon for it, it does seem to have a deeper meaning. And I'm
hmm
not gonna put a word on it because I don't want to like
What about
sway
you, Nova? Do
people.
you think that it's just is it just you know, an accident? Maybe something crazy just happened. I mean, because shit does happen. We know that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, nothing's really too you know, and everything's not a coincidence. We know that as
I
well.
mean,
And
I
what do
don't
you
know,
think?
you know what I mean? I mean, obviously something
Well,
happened because there was a
just from
fire.
what we got right now, from the
Yeah.
information
I mean,
that's available to us all.
obviously something happened because there was a fire.
Right,
For some reason, we only see a short clip. We don't
right,
see what happened, like I said, 2 or 3 minutes before that. So it's
right,
kind of hard to judge like that. But also,
right.
usually when ships come in and out like that, especially when they're going out, they have a pilot boat in front of
That's
them.
what I'm saying, yeah. And
Yeah.
you don't see that.
Now, not every time, but usually. Now,
And they
this
also have
person,
a tugboat too.
sometimes. See, the
Sometimes.
thing is like if the shipping company wants to pay for that, then it's extra. But then also, if something happens, it's fucking
Like a
on
guide
you.
car.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yep,
So
yep,
it's an either or type of situation. But also, it has to do with what you have on board.
Mm-hmm.
If
on
you
that
have
boat
some
too. Yep,
hazardous shit on there, you got to
yeah.
have a pilot boat in front of
Yep,
you.
yep.
Um,
Just like with cars in the guide cars. If you have something,
right.
you driving plutonium or some crazy shit. There's
And the
people in the
pilot
car.
boats
Yeah,
usually are sort of a tugboat type thing. They can push up on the boat or the ship and make it kind of go one way or the other. Um, Tugboats, I mean, it's kind of a different situation, but that's
no, I
up
understand.
north too.
I
They
I
might
get
do
what you're
things
trying to
differently.
say.
But I mean, the only thing I say is this is if it is a inside job or whatever you want to call it, then why is
Well,
the
I don't think
federal
it's a
government jumping on it so quick to fix the bridge?
right. I'm not saying that it's a well because I guess it's an important supply
Yeah,
chain.
it is.
It's
It's going to
important
cause
for the
major
supply
supply
chain.
chain issues
Right.
for
So
cars and hazardous
yeah.
So
materials.
okay, so then it's like so then we have to believe just like what happened in 9/11, we have to
Right.
either believe
Okay.
that we're either vulnerable enough to get attacked by someone like this
Mm. Go ahead.
or
Go ahead.
or it was a fucking accident, right?
Right.
Or
Uh-huh.
it was an inside job.
Right.
There's
Well,
only
I mean,
three things.
I think this, no,
So which one makes more sense?
I think it's just a secret war going on. I can't necessarily tell you because it's a secret war. I can't tell you what side is which side because it's so confusing
Well, we've
that, you know what
also
I mean?
made so many enemies that how could you possibly know?
Well, I'm just saying that I'm just for like even
That's
just
true.
in general. I think that it's a quiet civil war that's been happening in general inside America, politics and everything. Because the people are if you look at it from like back in Russia times and shit, and what was happening with the Jews and shit like that, in the Bolshevik Jews and what was happening in Russia. Okay, if you just use that as an example, okay, and then you look at what's going on over here, I just think that it's just a cold war, a quiet war, however you want to call it. But like people are taking out even people's propaganda people. Like P. Diddy could have just been somebody else's propaganda or just somebody else's puppet. You know what I mean? So like, all right, well, you want to fuck with me? I'm gonna take your puppet out. Okay, well, you want to fuck with me? I'll fuck up your supply chain.
Well, and
Okay, you want to?
that's
I think that there's just been a war inside, a quiet, silent war inside America between maybe new money and old money. I guess if you want to give them fucking names. That's just my personal take on it. I think it's all
Yeah.
just like with the fucking train tracks, just like with the fucking meat supplies and water. Oh, well, wait, that hail there wasn't there just a hailstorm in fucking Texas that destroyed all of those solar panels, like acres and acres of fucking solar panels. I don't think none of that shit's like in the last year, a hundred food processing companies caught on fire.
Very
I don't
strange.
think no, man. I think these are all war strategies.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
I
just
don't know
my
why
opinion.
somebody would make a fucking solar panel that could be broke by hail. That's stupid anyway.
But no, bro, the fucking
Jeez.
hell, nigga, that hell,
Was
nigga,
big.
woo, shit, nigga. I was watching
Yeah, but I
videos. I was like,
mean, you should
shit,
design it to where it could take a
yeah.
fucking rock or some shit too. You
Take
know
a
what I mean? Like
fucking,
not.
take a fucking
I mean, a
RPG,
meteor or
huh?
whatever. Like,
Well,
sorry,
they say, right? I feel you don't know. You know what?
you know what I mean? It's
I
like,
can't. Nah,
but
I
then
feel you.
obviously we know
I
why
feel you.
that is too. Is because
Well, because
the
if you can
insurance is
build an
involved.
engine, that Mercedes, what's that Mercedes with the ones that's shaped like a fucking Kansas chicken snack box? How Jay-Z was rapping them fucking Mercedes Benz trucks. They can take a 40 caliber sniper bullet to the engine and still work. You're absolutely right. A Hummer can take a fucking damn near a fucking RPG or a grenade. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're right. You're absolutely fucking right. They should have fucking solar panels that can't be broken with hell. But I'm just,
Exactly.
just laying it out
Well,
there.
we
like,
know that there's a whole thing with insurance and insurance fraud
yes,
and all that shit too. So
yes, absolutely.
it's fucking weird. Yeah, bro. My
but I'm just
fucking
saying,
my wife's car, her fucking her engine is bulletproof. That bitch take a 50 cal. That's crazy, ain't it?
Ain't that crazy? Yeah.
America don't make this shit like that though. That's crazy. I
That's
don't
German
understand why
engineering
not.
for
Like,
you, my nigga.
I'm not
That's
saying you got to have a bulletproof motor, an engine block, but I'm just saying why not? Why would one have one and why wouldn't? It's just cheaper to
right.
make.
And then the
So
cattle get taken out. See, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying like maybe I don't know how long this war's been going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I just think that there's just been a quiet fucking war for
well,
the
if you're at
control
war
over
with,
this.
if you're like at a Cold War, think about it. If you're in a Cold War
Right.
with someone like China,
right,
and everything, just about everything that you fucking use is made in China,
right.
well, you're going to lose the war.
Yeah, I don't
because
think
all your
Cold War
shit's
with
going to
China.
start breaking. Everything's going to be fucked up. I mean, just think about it.
All right,
Like,
I'm gonna put it like this. No, I don't think it's like China, or I don't think it's like Russia or anything like that. Like I think like it's almost like civil, it's internal. I think there's been an internal war, you know what I mean, between maybe people who know what's up and people who've been tricking us. Like, all right. And I may sound crazy because I watch a lot of anime, but what I'm trying to relate this to is the anime called One Piece. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It's one of the longest running animes, but I'm gonna just give you a brief synopsis of why I believe that it's like that. Because there's 100-year. The story is based around this 100-year gap in time that nobody knows what happened, right? And pirates became the government, and pirates who took over the world became the government and took 100 years worth of information and have hid it from the rest of the world. And so the pirates who did that call themselves the world government now. So that's what's just so fucking crazy about the story, right? So these other pirates, the main character in them, they're on a trip to try to find the One Piece, which will give them the information they need to fucking understand what happened in that last 100 years, which would tell them who they really are, which would show them who they really are and who the government really is. So that's what the fucking anime is about, right? So I'm just trying to break it down in that same fucking sense that I feel like that's exactly what's happening in this situation. There's been this, it's an internal war with some humans who understand what's happening and the humans who've been trying to hide what actually happened. And I don't think that I think that it's internal. I don't think that the shit that be happening from another, like what we've done to another country or anything like that.
That are less than human. And I think, we have to really take that into consideration. If they'll go around harming other humans, then they're not really...
We watch the Avatar. We watch humans get into a little box and then transfer their consciousness to a Navi being, an alien being's body, so they could infiltrate these motherfucking beings. Do we have to understand that concept is not far from what could actually be? I mean, all of it's a possibility, and allegedly, because we don't have all of the information, but we can definitely look at it from that perspective, because nothing that happens is humane. And I'm just saying, like, based on like the bridge, the fires, the cattle, the all of the shit that's been happening just in the last 12 months, it looks like or sounds like a fucking anime story where the government is fighting a war against some people who are trying to figure out the truth.
Yeah. Well, it's
You know what I mean?
like
Simple as
you
that.
kind of, you could kind of, because none of us lived in this Soviet Union era of when the
Right.
revolution happened there. But like,
Right.
if you read about it and don't like get too far into your emotions and
Yes,
start
absolutely.
creating like crazy, just like read it for how it is,
How it is.
and then think about what it is now. It's almost like the Bolsheviks
Yeah.
are trying to take the fucking place from the
It's,
czar.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it seems like, it's,
It's
whatever
almost
you want to
like they're
call it.
like deliberately
Well,
going
and
around fucking shit up.
I
New
mean,
money
they
versus
can.
old money, bro.
keep
That's what I
keep in
mean.
mind, if we go back to the entertainment industry, we
Mm-hmm.
have that movie Captain Phillips from 2013, where the
Yes.
Somali pirate gets on board and takes over the
Mm-hmm.
ship. And there's also now,
I'm
I
the
believe,
captain now.
a Netflix movie where this happens too. Just recently came out in the last few months. I don't know the name of it, so I apologize. But there's a bunch of people running on shore from a container ship that has gotten
Oh
off
yeah, it's to Leave
course.
the World Behind. That's the
Yeah,
one Obama
yeah.
produced.
Mm-hmm.
That's the
Mm-hmm.
Obama's film. Yeah.
So it's like, we don't have to look too far for depictions of this, in our
Yeah, and the possibilities are endless. Is all we're trying to highlight, really. But we'll never really know. But we should definitely just be aware, and you want to look at the information and be like, well, what the
But
fuck?
I
Because
also
it's kind
I
of
also
crazy.
think there's a correlation between all of the entertainment news that was happening in the
Yeah,
preceding 24
well, think about
hours.
it, right? All right, so think about this, right? If I'm new money and you're old money, right? And Diddy's a
Mhm.
part of that old money. Diddy's part of the old money team, right?
Mhm.
So y'all the old money team, you know what I'm saying? And the old money team is trying to cover up Diddy's dirt that he's done because he's like, fuck, bro, you're becoming a liability. You know what I'm saying? You're becoming a
Yeah.
liability. You know what I'm saying? Right now to the old money team. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But in the new, and that's why I'm like, because
It's here's the thing, and I Diddy did not understand this part of the game. He was a kingpin, but he was also set up as a kingpin,
but it's
and
yeah.
they were getting too
But I'm
close to
saying
the
that
actual
him getting taken
kingpin.
out,
Yeah.
right? Him getting taken out is seems like another war strategy.
Yeah.
That's like
So if
taking
you're
out.
being
That's
if
like
you're being chased by authorities and you have a van full of stolen merchandise, you're going to push the stolen merchandise out the back of the van to get away from it.
right.
All they did was push Diddy out the back, and
Or
they're
I don't think
continuing
they
on.
pushed him out. Yeah, I feel you. I think they did more like it just dropped him at a stash house, and everybody's gonna eventually forget about it. Well, I don't think he's really prosecuted or he's gonna even go down for shit like that because we have to understand that people who are even prosecuting him and going after him and shit like that is the people who fucking put him in place just to fucking
And
get go. I'm just saying, so he cannot be really. He can't really. If he's convicted of everything and actually goes to jail, and like we can see Diddy in jail, like we can literally get online somewhere and be like, yeah, we can
Diddy's
monitor
dead,
Diddy in
bro.
jail.
They gonna kill
and
Diddy.
here's the thing.
Bro,
Here's the
something's
thing.
gonna fuck, bro. Ain't no motherfucking way that this dude can fucking exist and everybody else not get in trouble, bro. That's all
Here's
I'm
the
saying.
thing.
It can't fucking happen that way.
We
Everybody's
have
going down. Then if
we
everybody
have
goes down, that includes like Bill Clinton. That
Mhm.
includes so many
Mhm.
fucking people. Like, and then if that's the fucking case, now you're talking about complete and utter civil unrest. That's
Mhm.
what y'all niggas is saying. See, and that's
Yeah.
what I don't think people are fucking understanding about the situation. They think, oh, it's just some pop star. No, this is like some type of fucking crazy
No.
warfare. Okay,
I
so
am
he
saying
gets
that.
taken
Yeah.
out. Yeah, I know you are. I'm talking to the audience. He gets seen like this, and he gets attacked. He gets taken out. This bridge gets taken out. Those fires happen. The solar panels. The fucking cat. Like there's levels to this fucking shit,
Mhm.
man. He wasn't nothing but he was a part of the old money shit, and the new money found a way to fucking have for him to have to account for some shit. But at the same
Mhm.
fucking time, is he really gonna get in fucking trouble? Or is he just gonna get shipped off somewhere and be like, all right, sit your ass down somewhere and pretend like you in jail, my nigga. Don't say nothing.
Mhm.
Just sit there and do
Mhm.
you. We send some bitches
Yeah,
to
he'll
you
be on
every
the
now
Okay,
and
so I
then.
got a
pristine
question
jail plan.
because I don't like. So I got a question. So
What up? Because it's
if
all
we
over. That's all.
think that there's old money versus new money, where is that? If we also think that there's one type of people that control it all, then
Right.
where's that money coming from? Like what's really going on?
I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
you
You know what I
can.
mean?
I don't think you
saying.
can know that.
That
I don't think that's an answerable question.
I'm
Oh,
saying
you
like
don't?
No.
I'm saying
Okay.
like this. I'm
Well,
saying
I'm gonna
like this.
answer it. Watch.
Go ahead. Answer it real quick. I want to know.
Well, I got to pee real bad, y'all.
Oh
I
my
ain't
All
lying.
right.
So I was just going to, like, introduce the question, let y'all talk for a second. I was going to use the bathroom.
Ask the question. Ask the question again.
Okay, so
ask the question.
all right, so if we talk about all the time, hold on now. I'm doing the 2-step over here. So if we if we believe that there's one type of person that is running all of this shit, right?
Right.
But they always fund both sides.
Right.
Then what would be funding new money and what would be funding old money? And then who's going to win? And I got to go pee.
Okay, good question.
Oh
Okay.
my
I would
God.
say, he might miss what I'm about to say, but I would say that, when it comes to that kind of question, I would put it more in a sense like this. You have a king and you have a prince, right? And the king is old as fuck. But he doesn't want to not be king anymore. But he's not quite ready to give his power up to his prince, especially this prince that's right up under the oldest one, because that motherfucker might change some shit or might do some shit that, he's a little bit of a rebellious one. And he's like, I don't know if I can trust this prince. And then but he's right though, because the older son he's fucking 40 something now, and he's like, oh fuck, this old bastard is never gonna relinquish his power. I'm gonna try to fucking get him up out of here. You know what I mean? So I think it's more like that. Not like I guess I put it wrong when I say old money versus new money, but I mean it's more on the lines of a king and a prince and an old
But
king.
you're saying one person. I'm saying multiple princes.
No. When I say
Yeah.
king, I don't mean I'm talking, it could be a group of individuals. Okay. I'm not saying it's just one person. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying looking at it, symbolizing it like a chessboard or some shit. Or like a monarch. You have this old king, you know what I mean, which is, you would say Diddy and the older Jewish cats, the Zionists, the AIPAC, the older money, the cats who've been in, the politicians they got under their feet, 98%. You know what I mean? They got a 98% fucking of our Congress, and that's the older money. But then you have the prince, you got the new money, you got the princes, you got these people's offsprings, or these people and you not necessarily bloodline offspring, right? They could be offspring as in born from these people's ideals, you know what I mean? Even so you got like an Elon Musk, you know what I'm saying? He's born from the ideals of a Steve Jobs, old money, new money. All right, so let's just kind of put it in perspective, or king and prince. But I'm saying what's happening is that there's a king who's old and doesn't want to relinquish his power, and there's a power hungry prince right up under him, and who's probably willing to do anything to destroy the king in order for him to be king, because the king should have relinquished power a long time ago. But he's like he doesn't want to. So I think it's more of a lines like that.
Let me give you a quote, and I'm glad you brought this person up. So this is a Steve Jobs quote. He says, "Good artists copy, great artists steal." Okay, he said that out of his own mouth. So we already know where that's coming from. So he's just another person in that cog in the wheel. He's not the king. He's just part of the process.
I'm not saying he's the king. Gotta give it more of a broader aspect. Okay,
I get it. I'm just saying though, like, this is
you
their
got
sentiment.
the new Illuminati, old Illuminati, new. I'm just saying it's a king. It's a king that's in place right now, which is these group of people who've been running the world for thousands of fucking years, and then you have their offspring, and whether it be offspring of their religions, offspring of their ideals, and there are these other group
But
of
in
these
the
princes.
in the nerd world, this guy is worshipped as, some kind of a crazy, god or whatever of computers, and he's not.
Oh yeah, for sure. We know that. I'm just saying, simple as that. That's what I think. That
Steve Jobs?
To answer Nova's question.
Oh yeah,
to answer your
Wozniak.
question.
God.
Yeah.
Wozniak's the dude. Steve Jobs is just the face. That's why Steve Jobs is dead and Wozniak's still alive, because Wozniak's got the true talent. Steve Jobs didn't really have it. He just knew how to play the part. You know what I mean?
Right, but
I mean, he was obviously he was like
point,
he had the vision.
I was answering a goddamn question that you left with before you took a piss.
Welcome
you know
back.
What I mean? Yeah, I'm just saying that it's new
Oh
money
no,
and
I've been
old money.
sitting here listening.
Yeah, and who's gonna win? You know what I mean? I'm just saying it's more
Right.
like, I guess, an old king and a prince who's been waiting to be king for a long time,
And
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 even
and if you guys think these people are not tipped off, then you're sadly mistaken because Russell Simmons is currently living on Bali so that he doesn't have to deal with the
but
repercussions of his own actions.
but what's your answer to Nova's question though?
My answer is that it's so um complicated and there's so many people involved that it's not something that we will ever be able to put together like an organizational chart in a business. There's so many players and so many levels and so many parts of it that we think we know or we think we're figuring it out, but we can't.
I think that there is a push for humans to become robots,
Mm-hmm.
and I believe that
Robots to become
next
humans.
step, the next step in that is for AI and for robots to become part of our lives and not
Mm-hmm.
just a movie. And then the Vision Pro from Apple becomes bigger. The headset, all the shit, the VR,
Is that
all the
old
stuff.
money or new money? Who gonna win?
And so then I think that the old money,
You think AI is new money or old
well, I
money?
just think that the old money knows that if they want to have a good life until they decide to die, that they got to cooperate
They not
because
trying to
AI
die
is
though. You
fixing
see
to
what they
take this
trying to
bitch
do. They
over.
trying to live forever.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the whole move is from the same people that we all know that run our fucking universe, basically. And I think that they have made one of the final pushes, bro, to like try to merge humans into just mechanics in general, just robotics in general.
But we have been just with as
But do
slave
you think
labor.
that's the plan of some old money shit, or do you think
I
that's the
think that
new
the
money?
old money knows that that's going to happen regardless.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So I
Okay.
think they're like, you know what? I'll just fucking go along with it. I don't give a fuck. I'm rich as
Right.
fuck. The only thing I'm trying not to do is lose my money. I'm not trying to make any more at this
So you
point.
think they didn't compromise? It's been a compromise, and this is just
Well, I mean, it's just like any
a
situation,
transitioning phase.
like eventually, like in the Soviet Union, eventually, when they went to the king's house and killed him and his whole family, and the majority of the people were getting, taxed like hell, their land taken or sent to gulags and shit like that. Like even the people, the strong people left with money, they either fled or they fucking went with
Right.
the new
Right.
upcomers or whatever it is. So I
Right.
mean, I understand the part about just like trying not to, or it's hard to answer because it is, but I just think that human beings and robots are going to become extremely close. And I know we
It
already
already
use
is.
dishwashers and
Mhm.
computers and all that shit that's already robots, but I'm talking about
It
the
is.
artificial intelligence of that merging with a robot and a human being having sex with a robot and a robot doing all your chores for you and being a friend or a companion to you is the next thing, because our phones are already that, and computers and all this shit.
But
Like,
everything is us, and we is everything. So
It is a
like,
spiritual battle though. I mean, that is definitely true.
but
Like
in a spiritual battle, there's no right and wrong and good and evil. I don't think everybody understands that aspect though. It can't be a
right,
spiritual battle
is it like
between good and
so what
evil.
I'm
There's
saying
no
right there?
spiritual battle between good and evil. It just is.
Right.
Like
So
I don't
that's
know.
what I
I'm
was
sorry. I
saying.
don't mean
We
it. That's
already
just
think these
I
things
just
about our
disagree with that. Right. That's
we
all.
already think these things about our phones. We already think these things about our computers, our video games, our whatevers. You know what I mean? And those are robots. Those do have their own brains. I'm not saying all of them can learn, but all of them are programmed to do a fucking thing. And like most humans are programmed to do a fucking thing. So I just think that the next step is to introduce like the Jetsons, where you get like your own little robot that
Yeah, I
does
don't
everything
disagree.
for you at home, And if your wife don't feel like having sex at night, it'll do something for you. Or if your husband don't feel like having sex, it'll do something for you. And is the husband or the wife, are they going to get mad about that? That's a big thing. Like sex drives so much shit. You know what I mean? And so then if you get into that, you get into like robotics for people in sex and all of the shit that we talk about the Diddy thing. Like, what if we see those videos of somebody getting fucked by a mechanical thing?
Should we already?
You know what I mean? Like, all of it's driven by some crazy ideas that everybody thinks is like taboo or weird or bad or whatever until it becomes front stage enough. And I just believe that AI and robots are front stage enough so that I can go down the street and get a pizza 24 hours a day and not have to even deal with a human being.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
But that really deletes the idea or the concept of a true human being, because you don't give that value to a person that you used to. Now you're giving it to AI. So, like, I get what you're saying, but I don't know that that's the way it's supposed to be.
Or you mean like supposed to be as in like you're supposed to be? Or you mean the people that run the world, they're supposed to be? Because obviously you're supposed to be and they're supposed to be and mine's supposed to be is completely different.
Sure.
And so, me and you might want to deal with a human being at the fucking pizza place, but the motherfuckers that run the world, they might want less people.
Sure.
Because
who wants to have a pizza delivered to a situation where something bad is going on that you don't want anyone to know about? Absolutely.
Right. Or just more people just mean more work, more effort into shit, more people's emotions involved into it, more protesting, more people that want to do their own thing, more people that can come out with inventions that could go against you. I don't know. I just think less people is easy to deal with, but you have to have something to replace that loss of people, and that would be AI.
Okay.
And then the transhumanism.
Where does that fit in this whole war against new money versus old money?
Okay, so I think, like I said, I think that the old money is smart enough to know, and they've seen years happen, and they've seen them go from not ever knowing what the fuck a computer was until seeing the world ran by computers. And so I just think that, they talk to younger people also. And I believe that they're like, you know what? I could either spend the rest of my 20 years or 10, 15 years on life fighting against this shit, or I can just let it fucking happen. And so it's like,
that's an option for sure.
Because it's going to happen anyway. So
that doesn't mean people have to be happy about it.
Who said that? And why you got such a goddamn attitude today?
No, I don't.
What's
I'm
wrong
just
with
saying
you, man?
That doesn't even mean that it's good.
Well, I mean, I ask a question. You talking about something that's not even answerable. You don't want me to go to fuck off today, goddamn it. I'm serious. Fuck on with that goddamn shit, man. Always trying to goddamn fuck with somebody, man. God damn. I ain't fucking dealing with it, god damn it.